Under the Waves is an emotional adventure with some rough edges. Thank you for visiting our channel today. You're gonna have a nice one called Under the Waves, developed by Parallel Studio and published by the Quantic Dream. So the game is released on PC, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and X. While Outroot is generally known for a specific type of game, Quantic Dream is keen to make sure its new indie label Spotlight isn't similarly typecast. Under the Waves is the first of the French publishers' indie title to see a release, and while it's still very much narrative-driven experience, it's clearly driven to the type of game you would typically expect from the Quantic internal team. The work of fellow French developer Parallel Studio, Under the Water, puts you in the role of Stan, a professional deeper sea diver working for an oil company from the underwater base. Stan has suffered a horrendous incident in his life. To say more would spoil things, and he decided that an extended period of self-imposed solitude will help him get away from it and come to terms with what's happened. Naturally, it would be much of a game if Stan finds a peace he seeks out instead, and so hallucinations, nightmares, and other strange goings are to be expected. The general structure of Under the Waves sees player controlling Stan over a set of number of days. This involves waking up in the morning, having a radio chat with his employee, and getting his task for the day, which at the best involve maintenance work of the company various underwater constructions. The game does a good job of portraying the isolation of being alone underwater. Stan is able to explore the water and its surroundings caves in Moon, his small one-man submarine, but the otherwise is completely on his own. The only other humans see in the game are a reporter on TV and on a handful of the scenes near the end of the game, which again we won't go into. Otherwise, only other interactions that are infrequent chats with his wife, who remains at home while he's on his period of isolation. There is a fairly linear path throughout the game as each mission develops the plot further, but there is also scope for some side quests dotted around here and there, which encourage further exploration and even the occasional photography assignment. They are completely optional, and it is possible to complete the game without straying off the set course once of taking a single photo. In terms of main missions, Under the Waves walks a line between guiding the player and making them figure things out for themselves. While you initially be shown where your next location is your map, more often than not, when you get there, you encounter an issue. Maybe the entrance is blocked, maybe as an item is needed, and from that point it is up to player to figure out of the step. The solution is never a million miles away, but if you are the sort of players who prefers the way many modern games adapt to such unexpected changes of plan and tell you where to go instead, you may initially struggle with being left on your own times. But then, of course, that being left its own is the whole point of the game. Despite the occasionally distressing subject matter of the plot, Under the Waves is generally quite, I should say, relaxing. The nature of setting means most things are carried out at a reliably slow pace. Stan can only swim so fast after all, and there are rarely any threats to the player. Sharks swim around you, but you never attack danger as it's gonna blow. Set pieces never actually blow, and the only main way is possible to die is to run out of oxygen, which shouldn't happen if you keep a supply of oxygen sticks, which are very plentiful and can be crafted if you somehow run out. This game is very realistic. This game with a story to tell, and it wants to make sure you reach to the end. The game's laid-back nature is accented by incredible soundtracks by the Nicholas Branding. The whole thing's already on Spotify, and when we're listening to it loops since the first finish of the game. Not only does it knows exactly when to evoke wonder and when to tug on the hearstrings, but it's also wonderful ambient music in its own right. Other elements of the game may prove more diverse, but much of this will depend on the taste. We were extremely distracted by the voice acting due to Stan's tendency to pause it at dramatic moments. out nearly every line of the dialogue. The lip sync isn't remotely close to the dialogue either, while this is understandable. Gives the game narrative in French, it's rather extreme. Almost every time we see a close-up of Stan during conversation, his mouth will continue to move long after he stopped talking. This, coupled with the rather low-quality character models, frequently broke the immersion for us. It's a testament to Under the Waves then that despite our issues with the dialogue and the character's design, we still find ourselves blubbering like babies at the end of credits roll. This game has still the powerful to affect you profoundly. This is a subject of matter in this time that would make it extremely difficult for some to play. Something less distressing, but it's troublesome in-game performance. We encode the numbers box in PlayStation 5 version from music stopping abruptly to dialogue looping and over 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 and over. No, it's not dialogue looping, lol. But while we've been assured that some of more egregious issues, particularly the crazy amount of screen tearing in the hub section, it will be addressed in an upcoming patch. It's worth mentioning them nevertheless. One in particular is currently preventing us from sealing an alternative ending, meaning we may have to play throughout the whole game again to see it. The thing is, we are probably will anyway, as a reasonable brief adventure would be it. It's just under the 8 hours, but that without doing any side quests or exploring for collectibles, so expect anything up maybe to 15 in total. This game can we see ourselves coming back to again once get over that ending. Like the ocean floor itself, Under the Waves has a plenty of rough edges, but it also has a beauty that you should choose to dive in. Will stay with you for a long time. Nevertheless, thank you guys for watching. Don't you guys forget to comment, subscribe, like. All the links I will leave in the description of the video. And yep, looking for your comments. See ya, bye, peace, check out.